Ciao ragazzi, it's Anthony here for Inter Worldwide with an announcement video to let you guys know that we have finally opened up channel memberships. That's right, if you are one of the very loyal Inter Worldwide people that have been following us from the start, this is an opportunity for you to get even more involved in this small but very much so growing and awesome community that we have here on the channel. So what will you get by joining the channel as a channel member? Well, firstly, you'll get our loyalty badges next to your comments in the live chat to help identify who the channel members are. Custom emojis to use in the live chat as well. Special member shout outs. But the stuff that might just tempt you a little bit more to sign up for a membership, uncensored members only live streams and videos with myself and a couple of other regulars on the channel, an opportunity for you to join the video and the live stream exclusively, and also the priority comments and discounted memberships on our Inter Worldwide merchandise as well. Guys, it would be amazing to get another little bit of a crew together for these channel memberships, and if you do decide to sign up, make sure you let me know personally so I can shout you out on the channel. Thank you very much. Forza Inter Worldwide. Ciao ragazzi, my name is Anthony. Thank you so much to the 17 or 18 people that have joined me right now. I've got my boy Mattia in the background waiting to fix up his internet and his connection. It will be a pleasure for him to join, and it's a pleasure to be here to talk about another match preview. A lot going on in the Inter world, a lot going on in the Inter Worldwide world, and we're going to get to a lot of that today. So I just want to first and foremost thank those people who have signed up to be channel members on Inter Worldwide. We have got 6 channel members so far, which is fantastic. One of which will be joining me today. He is our good friend Mattia. And I'm just excited to be able to keep this little community growing into what will become a much larger community. I can guarantee that. There are 21 people live with us on Inter Worldwide on a 9 a.m. start on a Saturday morning in Sydney. Why is it awesome that I get to do this match preview now? Because if the game was on a Sunday morning, this isn't enough time to get the preview up. When you go live on YouTube, it's a good 2.5, 3 hours before the stream actually ends up showing up on the YouTube feed. You have to look for it manually otherwise. So having that little bit of extra downtime before the fixture meant that I could come home on a Friday night and chill, wake up on a Saturday all revved up and ready to go. I would like to welcome my brother, our brother, and one of our
Hello, everyone.
Someone that did not need to become a channel member to show his loyalty, but thank you so much, Mattia. Welcome to the stream, my bro.
Good to see you. Always great to see you, Anthony, and everybody in the chat. Yeah, I have some connection issues today, but I hope I'll be able to stay here for as long as possible. So thank you for having me.
Beautiful, man. We'll talk a little bit. Let's go to some of the comments first. Thank you so much to my brother Jono for becoming a YouTube channel member.
Welcome.
Frankie wants to become one. I can't find how to join, bro. Just go straight to our YouTube channel and click on the join memberships. It's right next to the subscribe button. I might be able to put a link in the description, but I know that one other person was having an issue with that. So leave that with me and I will make sure to fix that up today. Okay, we've got a few other people in the chat coming in. James is here, Forza Inter, Ahmed as well, and my friend Jake Kalea is here as well. All right, my brother in pessimism, my brother in negativity. Things could be better, but things could be worse. Let's face it. Let's talk in a grand scheme of things at the moment. Football at the moment, I've never seen a more fabricated version of the sport than what we're watching today. I woke up this morning, rubbed my eyes. I'm like, hold up. That's an international duty squad 1.5 months before a World Cup containing world-class players from each and every league that now need to travel after this week's domestic fixtures. The idea of Bastoni and Barella and Gosens and Brozovic all getting on a plane, Hakan as well, even though he's injured, all of these players getting on a plane to go and play for their countries makes no sense, Mattia. This is why clubs cannot enjoy football to the fullest extent. Their players are taking knocks, they're injured, they're fatigued. It's a scene, man.
It is. It's not a great situation, especially since the World Cup is this year and it's not during the summer. It's in the middle of the season, which I think never happened before in history, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it is going to be a very, very tough and weird season. Yeah. And for us Inter fans, it is already too long.
100%, man. I feel like, what are we going into match day 6? Feels like match day 60. Yeah. Jono's got some instructions in the chat. To join the memberships, just close the live chat and you will see the word join next to the title description in the video. That's fantastic. That's a nice little plug on its way there. Let's talk Udinese. Let's talk this fixture going in. And then I've got a couple of things I want to plug. Something exciting as well for all of our loyal fans that might be able to tune in on match days or a day before match day. We're taking it to the next level, digital-wise and metaverse-wise here at Inter Worldwide. Michael says this is going to be a tough game. Udinese are in top form and we have bottled all of our important games. Yeah, I would say the first important game that we didn't bottle was against Torino. And you might say, well, Torino's no Lazio, no Milan. But at that point in time, Torino was 6th on the ladder. We were 8th on the ladder, and that commands respect on its own. Ivan Juric and his terrible Torino are just a pain in the ass. And it's going to be an even bigger pain to face up against these guys here. And I say that because not only are they ahead of us in the ladder as well, Mattia, but as a couple of people in the comments are alluding to, Udinese are one of the form teams of the competition. Not only that, not that I really need, not that it takes too much.
They haven't lost this year.
That's it, man. And not that it takes a lot for us to analyze a squad or anything like that, but my goodness, the talent that is oozing out of this Udinese side, they're just fantastic, man.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, okay, you said they're ahead of us, by 1 point, but still they're ahead of us, and they haven't lost the game yet. And they smashed Mourinho's Roma like they're some Serie B team. They are looking really, really good, and even when they aren't, they're always a tricky side to play. They're always difficult to play. So it's going to be a very, very difficult match, especially since it's away. So I really, you know how I roll, but I really don't expect a W here.
Yeah, I don't expect a W either. So I guess we'll be talking a lot in this in this particular video how badly we think we're going to play and how scrappy we think the game is going to be. And I'm happy that Mattia is the one to join me on this chat, because we all know that we have a certain injury, and it's not going to be good when we see who's going to replace him, in my opinion, because I actually have a pretty bad feeling that we all know who is going to replace the injured Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
Lord Gallia.
Yeah, exactly right, man. And it's not going to be pretty, unfortunately. It's not going to be pretty.
It's going to be Lazio all over again.
Oh, bro, it's definitely going to be Lazio all over again, my guy. I'm just struggling to find the particular slides I need. I think because I'm logged into the wrong Google account, but that's all right. What I'll do is I'll get the slideshow up on my screen, and I will share my screen rather than share the slideshow in general. And I apologize for that, but that's okay. Can easily be fixed next time around. Yeah. I think that this game in particular, we're also going to see a strategic approach where we're going to play tough in the first half, but we are going to look to fatigue this Udinese side in the second half. Now, it's also very, very important to know, and once again, I'm sorry for the trim today. I know it's not ideal, but this gentleman up on the screen now who's supposed to anchor our midfield, he is on his last legs already in terms of yellow cards. And with the way that Udinese play, you can almost guarantee a yellow card in this fixture for one of our box-to-box or one of our defensive backtracking midfielders. Whether or not it's going to be Brozovic or Barella, I don't know. One of those men is getting a yellow card in this game. It could very well be this game, because Marcelo Brozovic and Simone Inzaghi won't mind resetting his quota this early in the season. Even though our next couple of fixtures coming up domestically, I think, are tricky ones to the likes of Sassuolo and the likes of Roma. Mattia, if you're in Marcelo's position, you making a sneaky foul in this game to get yourself a rest early in the season, or what?
Yes.
Yeah? Good call.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably a tactical thing. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise for us, because I think Inzaghi will never play Aslani if Brozovic always plays. So maybe if Brozovic gets his yellow cards, then we will finally see Aslani and what he can do. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise to see this guy, what he can do, and maybe get him some match play, and maybe get him into form, and maybe see that we have another good player. So who knows?
Yeah, that's very, very well said, man. Very well said. It's going to be a tricky thing for Inzaghi, because I'm worried when a manager like Inzaghi sees a fixture that says it's not the end of the world if we don't win this game. Whereas in our previous manager, if you lose a friendly or if you draw a friendly, it's the end of the world. And I'm worried that he could walk out of Udine thinking a draw is a good result, which in the reality, Mattia, it is not a good result, bro.
No, it's not. Despite their form, we said their form is great. They've been great this year. They're always a tough opponent. That it all stands, But it is the fact that we have a good head-to-head against them. So we won our last 3 matches, I think, and we didn't lose since 2017. So it's, we are good against them usually. So definitely their form and the fact that we're playing away shouldn't hide the fact that we need to win this. This is a must-win game,
Yeah.
This is not a derby, or something like Lazio game, but we still need to win it. And like you said, we lost all important games this season already, so I think it's time to change something.
Yeah, fair call. Our last fixture was a 1-0 win against Torino. Obviously, it was a very good result, a very scrappy fixture, a fixture that probably could have ended in a draw, should have ended in a draw. But at the end of the day, we ground out those 3 points, which isn't easy in Serie A at the moment. I would say, and I'm pretty sure Mattia would agree, that Napoli is definitely the best, if not most informed team in Serie A in Italy at the moment, but even they have really struggled to translate their form and their potential to the nitty-gritty results, like, you're dropping points against Lecce. and whatnot. It's going to be a grind of a season. You saw Juve draw to Salernitana, who lost at home this morning to Lecce. The domestic season, it's a parallel universe at the moment from everything else in football. I just want to highlight someone very special in the chat who's not an Inter fan. I just call him CQ. He is all over this channel. He is all over the Uncle Sharmo channel.
Respect.
He is a Milanista that has been supporting this channel for the better half of 5 or 6 months now. And here he is giving us a donation as well. You are an absolute G. I value you just as much as anybody in this chat, my guy. Keep it coming. I'm so glad to have you within our chats, man. Thank you so much. And best of luck in the worst way possible to you and your boys this weekend. Actually, off the top of my head, it's the Napoli game, isn't it? You must be absolutely G'd because that's going to be a huge game this weekend. Milan and Napoli just before the international break.
Huge game.
What's your early prediction for that one, Mattia?
Oh, I can see that game having a lot of goals.
Like a 2-2 or something.
Yeah, I can see both sides scoring a lot. And I wish for a draw, I think that would be the best for us. And I think it's quite possible that there's going to be a draw. I think Milan and Napoli are probably the best sides this season so far. So this is probably going to be, the two teams that have shown the most, at least in my eyes. I think it's going to be a great game. And yeah,
there's a lot to this comment. A lot of times this season with Pioli's counterattacks and Milan's attacks, they have looked a little bit void on the right-hand side and in the middle, but you've literally got a bulletproof option when you kick the ball out to Rafael Leao. This is something that even a mid-30-year-old Ivan Perisic would be our saving grace last season. And you dial it back over a decade and give it, that extra 3 or 4 tiers of physicality, agility. And let's face it, Rafael Leao literally dribbles the ball and dribbles defenders with a smile on his face. He has just as much fun playing for AC Milan as he did with his brothers in the backyard when he was a kid. And that's what you call a true gem in football. And you know what? Enjoy him while you can, Milan, because this guy is going to a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or a big English club or a Bayern at some point in his career. So best of luck this weekend. I want to go over to a few of these comments because some of them are absolute BS. Like my boy Matt Pickham, I don't know what is in the water this morning in Southwest Sydney, but I'm coming over to your house for some because he says Inter 3-2 are winning this one right off the back of saying 8:30 p.m. kickoff. Now, I need to mention this out loud because I said this to my boys Bruno and Jono in the background. This fixture, Mattia, we never win. For the last 6 years, there is always a game that kicks off around about match day 5, 6, or 7 in Australia. It's usually at 8:30 p.m. or 9 p.m. on a Sunday. It's always against Parma, Atalanta, Torino. This time it's against Udinese. I've got my Bet365 account ready to go. I don't see this going well. And when we move into the predictions, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But Mighty Mouth thinks it's going to be a scrappy victory. I wish I was as confident as you. We're going to get to the lineups now. For Ali, do you think Mickey is the favorite playing instead of Hakan? Technically speaking, yes. Inzaghi speaking,
yes.
No. We'll move to that in a second.
Exactly.
We'll move to that in a second. My boy Sasha's here as well. Forza Inter from San Diego. You enjoy your day, man. Love the Bastoni turquoise kit as well. That's absolutely fantastic in your picture. You think we're going to beat if we beat Udinese 2-0 away in Udine, that's what you call a statement. You can win this game 1-0 and not deserve it, and we can come away and be happy. But if we were to keep a clean sheet away to Udinese and win 2-0, that's a statement, Mattia.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I also think that it's going to be a scrappy game. I kind of see it being similar to Turin game, but I don't think we will be able to win it in the last minute, like third time this season. I don't think it's going to happen for the third time. So I see a draw happening.
Fair call. This is a big one for me. We saw Onana start and not have to make a save until the 76th minute from Victoria, but we also saw Samir Handanovic play his best game in 5 seasons against Torino. So what are you saying, bro? I've said all I need to say. Are you happy to see him start this game, or should we still really keep the Onana momentum train going at the moment? Or now that we've integrated Onana, do we have the luxury of time? Does Simone have the luxury of being able to choose between these two brothers?
Yeah, he has the luxury to choose, but I would choose Onana for sure, and I think most of the Inter fans would choose Onana. I understand that, he needs, okay, Champions League is a good way to start, Coppa Italia matches and so on. But the league has so many matches, Handanovic can't do all of them, and it's not going to end well for us if he does all of them. I think rotating them in Serie A is also a good idea, and I think we saw after Bayern match, we saw Handanovic actually giving a crap for he reacted.
Yeah.
It is good that he has a competition that he has to try. So I'm not against changing them every other game or so on for Serie A. Not
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be just Onana from now on, and uh screw Handanovic. He is the captain, so it
I
has to
agree.
be.
I agree. And for years now, people like me have been saying that, we're one of the only big clubs in the world with only one goalkeeper. Padelli doesn't count. Radu doesn't count. Bernie is a team mascot. We never had the luxury. It was either Handanovic or Crisis. An out of form Handanovic. Oh, well, what are you going to do? You're going to go and play Padelli or Radu? No. Now we do have that luxury of knowing that if Onana gets a little bit of form and momentum, but we need to rotate a little bit, Samir Handanovic already has all the attributes, the heart, the soul, the captain's armband, the history. He is more than still reliable in that sense as well. Inter has not lost to Udinese since 2013. That's crazy. I think Matthias said 2017, but I don't know if we can go that far back. You might have missed one or two games, Sasha, because if you're telling me we haven't lost to Udinese in 9 years, I've got a bad memory because I'm
we
sure I've
lost
got
in
PTSD of losing
2017.
one. We lost 1-0, didn't we?
3-1 actually in
3-1.
2017.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah,
So
I had a feeling there was a time under Spalletti where we lost to them.
Yeah. So that's yeah. And before that, 2014.
In Udinese, my bad, Sasha. We haven't lost in Udinese from about them. Okay, fair call, man. We'll see if we can go there and come away with 3 points. Speaking of,
yeah, that's right. He's right about that.
All good. They're in great form. Their best result this season is a 4-0 drubbing over Roma. And they've just got a lot of players in their team that can contribute to this counter-attack, to this basically this flow of play that their manager, what's his name, Andrea Sotil, has got them playing at the moment. He's a very, very good manager in terms of getting the best mentally out of his players because you can see them all running for 90 plus minutes. They don't necessarily gas their legs as quick as a lot of these teams coming up. And that's something I've been able to very quickly separate for certain clubs this season, like the ones that have just progressed. They're very good for about 55, 60 minutes, but there's almost a secondary game of football that comes after the hour mark for a lot of these teams this season. Destiny Udogie is having an amazing season. He's already been purchased by Tottenham Hotspur. He's remaining on loan at Udinese this season. He is electric. He is awesome. He is probably the player that we should have splashed 20 million euros on in order to replace Perisic on the left-hand side. He scares the living daylights out of me, as does the man I've dropped in the title of this video. Big Bad Beto, and you are going to know this weekend if you have not before. If you are living under a rock in Serie A, this guy is this year's Johnny Scams, one Lucas Scamacca for me. We knew about him last season, but this season he's just coming into his own ferocious way, as if to say, don't one season wonder me. Don't just put me on the pedestal as another strong number 9 that scores some goals here and there and then moves on. This guy is a very, very good number 9. What are you saying about Beto so far?
I haven't watched him that much, but everything I have seen was very impressive. So it is going to be a really big threat, especially if, Honda doesn't show up, or if not just Honda, the whole back three don't show up like they haven't, been this season so far.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be he's gonna be especially a big danger for us.
Yeah, I think so. I think so as well. As I said, Sotil's got the team oiled pretty well at the moment. They're still undefeated this season, if I'm not mistaken, as you said.
Yes, Yes, they're undefeated. Yeah.
It would be great to be able to inflict that first victory against them. But Mighty Mouse says something that's on my mind as well. This is the game where if we lose, I will start to think we are in trouble. We need to make a statement with a win and show that we want the Scudetto. Facts, man. Facts. I feel like after the Torino win and the Victoria win, you know, let's just put our hand up and say it. When you see Juve suffering the way that we do, they are at the moment, it makes us feel better by default. It makes us take a more positive look back. It's very important to admit that has got nothing to do with us. Juventus's downfall has nothing to do with Inzaghi, with Marotta, with Inter, with the way we are playing on the pitch. We need to block that out and pretend that things can be okay with drop points. I love this comment from Mighty Mal. Let's keep setting high standards. You know, I did say in a chat this week, though, that I don't think that upper management like Marotta, Ozilio, and Zhang necessarily expect Inzaghi to deliver the Scudetto this season. But we need to see that he can be there the whole season. No drop-offs. We cannot get to a point in the season where we are 8 points behind, 9 points behind, because then it's too late to make a run at the end of the season. Inzaghi needs to be in the Scudetto mix from this match day up until match day 38. And the only way to forgive not winning the Scudetto this season is to mathematically lose it on match day 37 or match day 38 to me. Because like that can be, that like last season, you can forgive that sort of loss for a Scudetto. In my opinion, you don't sack managers for coming second by 3 points. That's the way that you deserve to go on and take another opportunity. 2 points. That's to me, like, you earn yourself another opportunity, especially when you put the icing on the cake with a couple of cup final wins as well. So for me, we have seen a fair bit of, you know, not Inzaghi out, but a lot of people saying, like, I'm starting to lose the faith and he's going to have to work very hard to come back.
Well, there has been Inzaghi outs.
There has, where are you standing on that?
Yeah, well, you know, Uncle Sharma has jogged a lot of people's memory with Conte outs when he was starting his second season. So, yeah, of course, I'm not Inzaghi out yet. But the fact is we look worse than last season, but we have almost the same team, if not better, with better depth. So that has to be at least partly on him. You know, of course, management screwed us over with how they were dealing with our future captain Skriniar. I think that was really horrible. That can, you know, mess with you mentally. But I think it's on Inzaghi, definitely. We all remember how Milan celebrated their Scudetto. Our players needed to get out in the derby and show them who is the boss, and we had nothing. We showed nothing, flat.
Yeah,
and
this is why I hate playing derbies so early in the season, man. I really hate playing them so early in the season. By the way, do you guys think we'll push for Copper again this season? Let's answer that question on another stream.
Yes, Inzaghi will push for everything, like last season.
If Inzaghi gets to a quarterfinal, he almost has tunnel vision for that trophy. But if you can get to that point, and I love that about a manager. That's one thing that I would really say I love about Inzaghi is that when he can sniff a trophy and it's a couple of winnable games away, he will narrow in on that accolade. And I think that you really saw that in the flesh when we had to go to extra time in the Coppa Italia final, and Allegri was getting his troops together and going, calma, like basta, like just slow it down, pass the ball around, be patient. Then the camera angle flipped to us and it was Inzaghi basically telling everyone, you make sure you go for the jugular. We are winning this before penalties. I love that about him. I really did. Our boy Huyan is coming in as well. Thank you so much for coming in, bro. We appreciate you. Let us know your prediction. Always good to see you. Let us know your prediction for the Udinese game as well, my bro. Sack Inzaghi right now doesn't make sense. Give him the chance until the World Cup. Bro, I would say in a season like this, you almost need to give Inzaghi all the way until a March or April period until you see that you cannot meet your season's objectives. Because in a season that could be as close as this, what happens if there's 5 or 6 teams that can still make the top 4 by match day 34 in Serie A? That would not seem crazy to me. So we do need to be patient this season. The last thing that we need to do is jump the gun and think that getting a temp or an interim manager in the 22-23 season is beneficial. It's not. It absolutely is not, unless your manager is in dire dire straits and conditions to the point where he's lost the dressing room. I actually don't think Inzaghi's close to that point at the moment, but we'll see what happens. This is the form. So we were incorrect on something. They did lose on the opening day of the season to Milan, but since then they had a draw at home to Salernitana, 3 points away to Monza, 3 points at home to Fiorentina, backed it up with a very impressive 4 goals at home to Roma, and then smacked Sassuolo away 3-1 as well. They're coming into this game confident, but don't think for a second that we can't bring them back down to earth. My problem is, once again, my PTSD is kicking in, Matt Pickham and Jono, and we don't watch these 8:30 games on a Sunday and win. We never, ever, ever do. It's just
it's a tradition.
It's tradition, man. It's tradition to draw 2-2. It's tradition to lose. It's tradition to do it. So we'll see if we go again. The question is, who is better than Inzaghi? There is no one right now better for this squad. Right now, yeah, well said from Matt, unless Mattia disagrees.
Yeah, I agree. Serbian newspapers have been mentioning some rumors about Stankovic maybe getting the spot, but I don't think he is on that level yet. He quit Red Star recently, and he's free.
Why did he quit Red Star? And are you a Red Star fan?
Yes, I am. So I think he quit because they didn't qualify for Champions League. That was like his big goal, and they didn't do it. They lost to Maccabi, or drew something. Yeah, they didn't qualify, and he just left very abruptly, very unexpectedly in the middle of the season. So everybody was kind of shocked. And there started some theories that maybe he's going to Italy, but I don't think that's happening. And I don't think he's on that level yet, despite being the legend of the club.
Yeah, you unfortunately lost your Europa League game against Trabzonspor midweek, didn't you?
Yes, that was like embarrassing.
What's even more embarrassing, no offense, bro, you let Marek Hamšík score a goal against you. That guy's like 35 years old, isn't he?
Yeah. He barely moved or something. But Serbian teams have a very good tradition to get red cards in Europe. So it's kind of what ended the game for us.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
Yeah, but Leah, let's not waste time on Red Star.
Let's not digress. Let's move ahead to our predicted lineup. And if you really want a nightmare, look no further than the mid-right of your screen right there. We have the players now. We've got Aslani. We've got Mkhitaryan. Why are we revisiting this bad dream over and over again? Sky Italia, Probably Formazione, says that Roberto Lord Gagliardini is going to get the nod in midfield.
Of course.
He doesn't even balance it anymore. You know, under Conte, where you could have justified it and gone, okay, look, for attribute-wise, he does need to balance it. He doesn't even need to balance that midfield anymore, bro. With Brozovic and Barella in there, I would say if Barella is not available and Hakan is, you can put Gagliardini in there and I'll turn one eye away for half a game. But you cannot put him there with Barella and Brozovic. The box-to-box covering defensive side of it is done. Who is going to press the ball forward? Who is going to play proactively? Who's going to get into the spaces and drive it forward? I know Mkhitaryan hasn't been fantastic with his passing. I know he's been a little clumsy when he gets wide, but don't deny that if Mkhitaryan picks the ball up and has 2 meters in front of him, there's probably no one better except for Barella in those spaces to push the ball forward 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, get it into the final third like he has done at every single club he has been in since 2014. That is one of his key attributes, to be able to get the ball, drive it forward, get the flow of the game up, push the other players forward as well. And now, at the respective age of his career, thanks to Jose Mourinho, he now has the tactical adaptability to pick it up a little bit deeper, introverted, and press it back up in the parallel direction that he moved back. Mattia, take the mic from me, please, man. I don't want to see Roberto Gagliardini starting this game.
Nobody wants to see that for several years now, but it seems like he is surviving the coach changes, the everything. Like, he is still starting in. If you told me a couple of years ago that Gagliardini is going to start in 2022 for Inter. I would think you're crazy or that you're trolling or, something like that. Or that we are completely, in the banter era again. So
you know that meme of D'Ambrosio with the Grim Reaper taking everybody's position on the door? How has no one made this for the vast array of midfielders that have not only been sacrificed on the pitch, but have left before him? This guy is a part of the same clan of the Borja Valero, Matias Vecino era that we said, not one of them, not two, all three of them need to go. All three of them have done their bit under Spalletti. They need to go. Arturo Vidal has come in and exit. This brother is still
in the middle, yeah.
He is still here. And now you've got Aslani and Mkhitaryan on the bench just sitting there going, yo, we're good. We're good for this one. But I really don't know. Maybe this lineup could be wrong, but anyway, let's move elsewhere. I saw a comment up that De Vrij could be a little bit shook because he didn't get picked for the Dutch team, but he did actually get chosen for the Dutch team. However, one small positive from our midweek Champions League win, Mattia, was a good performance from Acerbi. Where do you stand on the Acerbi-De Vrij situation? Who would you start in this game?
Difficult
Tough
question.
One, eh?
Yeah, actually, Acerbi was really good in that Champions League game. And De Vrij, even though he's a much, much better player than Acerbi, he has been in a kind of a slump recently. So, yeah, it's a tough call, to be honest. I would have never thought it would be a tough call, but with the form De Vrij is currently, I would say it's a tough form, but he didn't play in Champions League. He's rested. So, yeah, I guess I would give him a chance now.
Fair call. I'm going to skip ahead to this comment. We have a new channel member, and it's a veteran from the channel. It's Marvel Lawson as well.
Welcome.
It's an absolute privilege to welcome you, my brother. I can't wait to send you a personal message as well. Please try and get at me at Twitter or on Facebook today, man, if you can, so I can speak to you
privately. Guys.
And welcome to the family, guy. Welcome to the family, my guy. We appreciate it. Let's go back to this comment, man. Gosens does need to start. He needs the form. He really does, but you know what, Mattia? It's really good to have a contingency plan that literally bleeds the colors on the chest on the pitch. And DiMarco, I know that sometimes he can be a little limited physically, but I really like him. And you need your players like DiMarco. And for as long as he's on the pitch, at the very least, I know that if that clock is ticking down to the last 5-10 minutes, he's one of the players left that will still have in his head, no, we win this game. We win this game. I put 20 crosses in between now and full time, and we win this game. Do you get what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I would still start Gosens.
Me too.
I mean, Gosens is a better player, and he really needs minutes to get. He will never go back to his Atalanta form if he doesn't play. If he plays the last 5 minutes of every game. So,
man. I completely agree what you're saying, man. Completely agree. Go on. I was just agreeing with you big time with what you were saying.
Yeah, he has to gain confidence. He has to play to gain confidence, and he has to play for a long time. And Inzaghi has to have confidence in him if he's supposed to gain back his confidence. And he's not going to gain his confidence back by playing last 5 minutes every game.
100%.
So we're always like, oh, where is the old Gosens? Where's the Gosens from Atalanta? Where he's not playing.
Took the words out of my mouth, man. How do we expect him to recapture the scintillating form if you don't play him into that form? You can't just turn it on and off like magic, man, especially in a league like Serie A. You have to be so tactically informed and involved. We've got another couple of scalps from the list that Lord Gagliardini took. Yep, Nainggolan for sure, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of his form. But yeah, 100%. Rafinha as well. I remember the Reprendi Rafinha tag trending for a long time. I might have been a key contributor to that right there, but that's in the past now. Matt Pickham says Acerbi is a professional. He beat cancer. Playing football is a blessing for him, so he will give his all for the club that he plays for. Well said. DiMarco always tries and puts good crosses in. He really, really does. Let's move on. It's been a really good 40 minutes. That absolutely flew, Mattia. Thank you for making this such an enjoyable stream. Let's move to let's move to the opposition before I send our brother off and I plug a couple of things for us. A lot of attack, a lot of threats. Udogi, Beto, Deulofeu, who is probably their most dangerous player with the ball at the moment. For the last season, he's really struggling to finish his lunch and dinner when it comes down to putting the ball in the back of the net. But he's still, in my opinion, their best overall and most skilled player on the side. He's going to be very hard to stop, and we need to make sure that on the transition, we are not giving him too much time on the ball, B, time to get his head up and make a decision of where he wants to get the ball next, and C, if you do let option B take up, make sure you track him, because he has a very big tendency, if you blink, to get to the other side of the 18-yard box or the other side of the pitch. Gerard Deulofeu is not going to tactically stick to his position in a 3-5-2. He is going to make life extremely difficult for you in the final third. So just stopping by for a bit, the artist Javier, welcome by. Just stopping in for a bit. Inter, as always, I'm predicting a 3-1 victory. Well done for you. The only good thing about this Udinese side is I don't see success in the starting lineup for Udinese. Is he injured? Is Isaac Success injured for this game? Because if so, that could actually be a good thing for us. Not that being injured is a good thing for anybody, but I'm just quickly looking it up.
I just want to correct a mistake I made. They did lose their first game of the season against Milan.
Yeah, we had that up on the screen before. Well done, well done. All right, let's do the prediction thing, and then we'll move on to one other thing before we send the people off. Mattia, give us the good word. What are you saying for this one, man? Are you predicting an optimistic draw?
I think it's not optimistic. Optimistic is to win. I think a realistic draw. That's my prediction. So
it's gonna be
1-1 or 2-2, something like that.
It's gonna be like the Parma dropped points over the last few seasons, where we score first, we have everything it takes to win the game, everything it takes, but we're not going to come away with it. Just like Sampdoria last season, just like Atalanta the season before. Who knows? We could miss another penalty. All I know is that we are going. All I know is that we get the
penalty this season.
All I know is that we are going to leave this game knowing we should have won this game. Whether we win it or not is a different story, but I have a feeling this is going to leave a sour taste in our mouth. Mattia, I'm going to go with Hoyan. I'm going 2-1 to Udinese, bro, and I'm sorry to be that guy. I'm really sorry.
I think 1-1 or 2-2, but I see a draw happening. Yeah. And we shouldn't be happy about it.
If this actually happens, here we go. I'll say it on camera right here. If we're losing 2-1 at halftime, and we score 2 goals in between minute 70 and minute 79, I will personally drop a bottle of whiskey or a case of beer off at Matt Pickham's doorstep and video it as well. But the 2 goals have to come between 70 and 79. If we score a minute after win at 80, you get absolutely nothing. So we'll see what happens right there.
That's a promise.
Yeah, that's a promise. I could cash in on that promise right there. Mattia, I'm going to plug a little bit of a Metaverse thing that we've got going on and Serie A Fantasy. Did you want to stick around or should I send you off?
I don't know how long my connection will last, so I think I'll just head out. And thank you for giving me this chance to join you. Thank you for all in the chat. Become a member if you can. It's not necessary, but it helps the channel. It's, really nice of you if you do. Hit that like, subscribe if you're not, and see you some other time, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you to our brother Mattia. Thank you very much. And it's an absolute promise from us. Anything that is donated to the channel from channel memberships will go toward helping the channel grow with better quality overall content. Time to do something a little bit fun before we move over to Serie A Fantasy. I hope that I can actually share this on the screen. I don't know if it's blocked or protected in any way, shape, or form, but GoFans is a company that has just started moving forward into the Metaverse world, and they have kindly reached out to Inter Worldwide to partner up with them, which we are, and it looks absolutely great. It is free for anyone who just wants to join a link and come and join me in this online digital platform. So what exactly is it? Let's join. Now, keep in mind, I haven't had time to create an avatar just yet, so we're going to enter the space right here. I'm hoping that you can see it on the screen right now. Here is our digital stadium here for Inter Worldwide. As you can see, we've got the banners up for the Udinese fixture. We've got some legends up on the wall. So join me as we enter our digital platform. I'm just thinking how cool it would be on a match day to rock up here with my avatar, my Inter Worldwide NFT scarf, and see my boy Hoyan just spitting bars in the corner, bridging up to somebody. It's closer to match day. There'll be some highlights up on the screens around the stadium for us to watch as well. And here's a little bit of a digital look at the Inter Trophy cabinet. So it's really just an awesome online metaverse platform. We're really moving into the future here. So I look forward to anybody that wants to join up and join me here for some fun before match days or the day before match day. It'll be decked out in the San Siro, and we'll be able to put some predictions in as well and have a little bit of a discussion. I'll put a link in the description as well for how you guys can test that out. It's in its early days here, but Inter Worldwide is very, very happy to be on board with something as cool as this, because you can tell that everything in the world is moving towards this in the future. So looking good. My prediction for Udinese, once again, it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a very tough one. I do think that we are going to struggle overall in this game. So we'll see what happens. Is anybody able to tell me if they were able to see what was going on screen just then? Like when I was walking into that stadium and whatnot, can you just comment a yes or no if you were able to see that while I shared it? That would be great. Yeah, Frank, as Jono said, close the live chat and click the join button on the title of the description, or just simply go onto our YouTube page and you should be able to find it there. But send us a message if you're having a problem with that, because that's something that I will help sort out for you straight away. Yes, it was pretty cool, wasn't it? Imagine what it's going to look like when it's fully done, decked out. Giuseppe Meazza, all of us rocking up together with our Inter Worldwide scarves on and having a little bit of a digital metaverse thing. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at another partner and another sponsor of Inter Worldwide, and which, oh wow, we've cracked the 140 mark on here as well. Things are looking good. Serie A Fantasy, 144 members. Link is in the description. It's also up on the screen right there. 45th. We're on the rise. We are on the rise. We are on the rise. Page 3. Bruno is in 54th. Nice and close. Mario Galliano's up on the board as well. Can we see any familiar names on page 2? The Artis Javier is in there on page 3. Who else? Got Franco Molo in 26. Matty Picks coming in at number 40, the bottom of page 2. Well done. Flying the flag high. This is bullcrap. Jonathan Solomazidis has been a best friend of mine in Sydney for a long time. Doesn't watch Serie A, only follows Liverpool, and is somehow rocking the top of this league. Absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to our boy Dieta as well, and my friend Francesco Ciccio. They're both doing very, very well in this particular Serie A fantasy. Now, what I wanted to do was, if I've got transfers left, I might have to chuck a little bit of a sneaky. I might need to chuck a little bit of a sneaky here and put some Udinese players in my team, especially since I need to make a sub. I need to get Rafael Leao out, and that saves 10 million. How many transfers do I have? 2. I've got 2 free moves, and I've just sacrificed 10 million. Okay? This is a great opportunity for me to get some points by putting Udinese players in, especially if they don't, it's a double-edged sword. If they don't play well, chances are Inter play well. So let's see. Pereira, Lozic, nah. I don't want any of these players in my team. I really, but 49 points so far is not too bad. Do we really think Roberto Pereira can have a game to that extent? I'm really going to have to doubt it. So, especially since I can afford a midfielder, which is a no-brainer, like Crava from Napoli or Dybala, one of those two. I'm going to go for Crava. I just feel like he'll have the consistency. And because I don't have any other Napoli players on my squad at the moment, that's a pretty easy move. Vlahovic, Arnautovic, they're playing each other this week, so it doesn't really make sense to have both of them in there, although I'm not really sure that I want to. I think this will be for the next match day anyway, actually. I don't know if it's closed for this week already. It probably is because Salernitana and Lecce have already played. That'll actually do then. I'll keep my sub in the bank. I will keep my sub in the bank, and we will go for Leao out for Crava for this week, especially since those two. Oh wait, but the week is cancelled, so that doesn't count for this week anyway. Anyway, the round has already kicked off, so I'm not too sure if taking out Leao was a little bit too late for me. That's what I get for leaving the match preview 12 hours later than I usually do. Regardless, Matt Pickham, thanks for your generous words, but I will catch you. It's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when, my good friend. That was a great stream. That was a great 50 minutes. Please let me know if you're having trouble accessing channel memberships. That's of the utmost importance to me. So please make sure you let me know if you are struggling with that, and I will sort that out for you as soon as possible. The match kicks off at 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, which means it's in about 35 hours' time. Depending on how fatigued I am from the weekend, I could do a watch-along for that one. Either or, I'll definitely be doing a match reaction for it because it'll only be 10:30 p.m. By the time the match finishes. So not worried there. Guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe if you are new, and if you really, really love what we do here on Inter Worldwide and want to see us grow a little bit more, make sure you sign up as a channel member. And as soon as we hit around the 8 or 9 channel members, that's when I'll start putting out a piece of exclusive content or just something that little bit extra for those loyal members. Shout out to everybody who's signed up so far. Marvel, Mattia, Uncle Sharma, our good friend Ian Kerr, and there was one other that I've forgotten as well, but I'll make sure I get to that as well. And thank you to Jonathan as well. My name is Anthony, but you already knew that. Let's hope to Jesus and to the Padre above, if that's what you believe in, that Inter can rack up 3 points away in Udine. Forza Inter Worldwide. Ciao.